Hello everyone, how good of you to join and welcome back to Cities Skylines, to Sleepy Hollow, where we are right now in our tiny dirt road city that is, well, that's about to change now, as I would like to have a quick look on my road system so far. One thing that we've unlocked in the last episode, that was the landscaping. It is time to finally rectify these really ugly bridges that we have that, right? So let's get rid of this and let's just have a look how I could do this, how I could go about this. As we can see, there is some difference here now between the height. So basically this is the same height here, but in between there is kind of like a, you know, a valley, you might say. There is just a little hole in between that we need to kind of like fix. So let's make this actually a pretty big brush so both sides are being activated. And of course not the level terrain one, because that actually creates an even bigger hole. Nope, I want to level it, right? So the softened terrain that we have it. And as we can see, I will make sure that there is still something here. Can I do this? I think we can still move this one around. Perfect. So this is looking a bit better now. It is softened. It should be softened now. So let's just try this one out once more. And now, boom, there we have it. Perfect in all its glory. No ugly bridges anymore. For this whole area, there is still an exit over there. So it is possible for me to get rid of that here. Sorry, pal. Oh my goodness, he's actually... Oh, that was a nice move there on his side. Nice reaction time, I should say. And then we can go ahead and do the same thing here. Let's just make sure that we have the same level. By the way, I think we'll need to get rid of this road there too. Just in order to make this one here a bit even. There you go, right? So this should actually be it already. Let's just check it. There you go, perfect. This is really perfect. Now, also we have lots of space unlocking next to it, right? Where previously with the bridge, it wasn't possible really. So let's just build these industry tiles here once more. Over there, and I might actually just squeeze in some smaller commercial zone here and a bit of a commercial zone over there, and then here as well, right? And then let's leave a bit of a buffer there. We might actually add some pedestrian roads then at some point, so people can actually cross the streets a bit easier there. There's actually a very strange thing happening there, and there's also one of these bridges there, so let's also get rid of that ugly thing in order to, well, by just really flattening this terrain there. And I think this should actually be it already. There you go, perfect. I love my landscaping tool. Now we're looking at Fawn Square. As I said, this is probably going to be downtown at some point of the city, right? So this whole area, so a bit of a grid system is fine, to also get a lot of effectiveness in it, to also, well, squeeze in a lot of big buildings then later. Let's go ahead and get us some more streets on the way, and I'm probably going to start over there, and we're going to leave a bit of room in between, actually a bit more this time. There you go, because I will upgrade this road eventually. Then that takes a bit more space, and I would still like to have a bit of a buffer there for pedestrian roads next to it, or bicycle lanes, whatever we could go with, right? Something like that. And then we basically just go all the way over here and connect it. There you go. That's really it. And then we probably will have another one here. This is... Should we have a connection there? I think we could make a connection in this area. And then I'm just going ahead with another smaller road. And this can now be as tight as possible, more or less. There you go. There we actually have a bit of a bigger area now. Let's actually use this one. Might be a park in it, might be a school in it, might be a church in it, whatever comes to mind for this one. And we can do the same thing then over here as well, right? So there we have then the inner circle there with lots of space then that we can use. Perfect. Here we continue then also with a lot of space in between. I'm not going to connect though over there, right? So that might not be my wish for now. We are rather just going to focus on adding the road right next to this. Then we connect it here. That's looking good. Also some more space in between again, because we always will need to add more things then as well. Oh, and there is this bridge again, so we need to flatten this terrain. We need to soften it. A bit of a bigger brush that I need. There you go. This makes things a bit easier, a bit smoother now. Perfect looking, all of it. And now we can add then another road into this one. How did I do it over here? Right, so we could use the central one there and just actually connect it with this. And that's actually it, right? We do have more space in between. just like we wanted. Perfect. Another downtown area coming up. There's already some commercial zones here that we can use. So let's just go ahead and finish these commercials all the way to the other side. And that's always very good to have the commercial zones next to my normal residents because, well, it's customers, it's some shopping, local shopping. It's also reducing traffic because people don't have to travel so far for shopping. They can just do all their demands right next to them. And that's how it should be in a proper city. There's actually a little dead zone over there. These poor guys don't have any water. Sorry, but you have a cool car, a Corvette C3. Never driven one of these. Still, you should get some water. There you go. Oh, we also have unlocked, by the way, a water tower that we could use. Interesting building. I haven't built this one yet. Perfect. This whole thing still needs a bit of water. So let's just go ahead and add some more pipes. Let's just make this one. We can make the connection there. Perfect. There is another road here. So it's a bit overlapping there, but that's going to be fine. And then here is the road that leads then into this. Basically, I like to have my pipes there on the roads. Just make things much easier to plan. There you go. A nice connection. And this one follows then the main road and continues onwards. Now, I think we can actually go ahead and have my residents living here then too. I do have 14,000 credits. That's not so much actually. It's not even enough for school at this point. We still need to be very careful about how much money we're spending. This is the main road, so commercial is fine. This is the main road, and in between we're going to have then these normal residents. They're living here basically. I probably will leave this area open for now because yeah, I might actually do a school district out of it. And then we're just going ahead and have some more residents all the way here and also here. There you go. This is going to be a nice neighborhood here. It's also going to make it very easy to plan then with some public transportation once we want to add this one. Just going to fill in all of that basically. We can always get rid of the residents then later again. And there's the first people popping up already. Now something that I haven't done really yet. Oh, wait a second. Electricity. It's completely out because my power plant is on fire. But there is already the firefighters coming. Do your job and do it quickly. There they are. On this fine day. What I actually like as well there, if we have a look at the firefighters, they have their own, right there. If I click on them, it's their own persons there. So these, even the firefighters are simulated as an individual. That's really cool. There you go. I mean, what are the odds, right? A fire at the only power station that we have. Now it's back online and electricity is available once more. Now, something that I actually wanted to do is I want to add some, well, some proper vegetation to that. Right now, we still have the vanilla prop trees here. We can actually get rid of them. So I'm going to increase the size here just immensely. Right, let's just get rid of all of these rather boring looking trees also here in my town center. So now we have the plains, nothing else. And then I can just go ahead and have my autumn trees now that we are going to add to all the different areas here. Right, so in between here, here, and going all the way over there. And just look at what it's adding to the city. It's great looking, really. Colorful, bright, friendly, not boring anymore. I definitely can look at that. Very nice. We should also always check the traffic that we have right now. So traffic flow is fine. What I can see here is these people on the roundabout are yielding to people that want to enter the roundabout. We should change this. We actually can make this a priority road if we need to. And of course, we do need to. So the people on the roundabout here are getting the priority sign, right? So they always have priority over the traffic that comes in. So these guys here, basically, they will have to wait here now and will have to wait for any incoming traffic. Also, these guys here, of course, entering from the highway. Makes it much easier, adds a bit more flow to the whole system. Otherwise, the roundabout at some point would be stuck. There in the center, we actually have a lot of space. It would be wasted if we don't plant some trees in here. There you go. We can also make this one with a few single trees, adding a few more here and here. And that's basically it. Very nice. For now, that's all we can really afford. Now, 26,000 credits, that is enough, so we can finally go ahead and build us a school, a proper one. We don't have any kind of education right now. Elementary school availability is 0, and there's 263 children waiting for some education. Also for high school, none at the moment, because no one has elementary education there, so that's a bit of a problem, I'd say. Let's go ahead and have our first school then just here. We do have a couple of options there. Also these really cool looking American themed schools. So this one here, Red Hawk Elementary School building, contains all necessary administrative departments and classrooms that we need. 23,000, that is too expensive for my taste. I would like to go for something cheaper. We have the community school. That's a nice, friendly, green looking building. We can also just squeeze it into this area, and I think we're going ahead with that. Either this way, we could do it this way with 4 tiles on either side. I think this might work out. Or, no, actually, I think this is the one, right? Because what we can then have is parks next to these buildings there. I mean, we can still move it afterwards if we need to. But there you go, our first elementary school in all its glory. There will be quite a lot of traffic here. And as we can see, the first students are coming into the school. I think there's, though, a bit of a problem with my elevation levels once more. Now that I've built the school, I will not be able to get rid of it again completely. But it's fine, since we're going to add some parks then right next to that. The whole school district here with the elementary school. We can then add, once we have the money, have a... Oh, there's also kindergarten that would be possible. But I would like to have then a high school on the other side of it, right? We do have some proper high schools here. There you go, for example, that we can add on the other side. And then we have parks on the left and on the right here, so that we can... Yeah, that children have a playground to play around there as well. Now, something that is bugging me right now is the dirt roads. We do have a bit of cash still left over, so it is time to finally go for some proper roads. I don't have any roads with trees yet, right? We haven't even unlocked that. But normal roads I can add. There you go, with these beautiful darker textures. I like that. Looks very, very sophisticated. And especially where we have the school, we should have some proper roads then, right? There's actually children running around and stuff like that. They should not run around on dirt streets. Also, this one, of course, is increasing traffic flow there a bit. And as we can see, people also like them over the dirt roads that we had so far. So that is something I can do right here in the city center. We could probably go ahead and upgrade our main road if we want to. That's going to be destructive, by the way, right? So we're going to destroy quite a lot of buildings next to them, but that's fine. That's part of the growth. And how much does it actually cost me? 750. We could do this. To be honest, at some point I have to do it. So let's go ahead and have some proper upgrades here now. There you go. This one going all the way up here. Oh goodness, look at that, what it's destroying. Everything. Basically everything. Going all the way up here. But with that, we finally have a proper main road here in the center. And it's never going to be bigger than this anymore, right? So this is the maximum size of this street that it's going to be forever. So what we still can do now here, as we can see, we got another tile now, more towards this area and this area. And here in between, I can then add, for example, a road for pedestrians or for bicycles and stuff like that. Let's add some commercials now, so we can fill it up. I'm going to stick with 4 tile size though, right? So only 4 tiles on either side, so we have space on either side that we can use them properly for something. There you go. That's a proper street. More buildings will appear here than any time now anyway. And then we got our first avenue, the Scott Avenue. And while more industry is appearing over here, as I can see, demand for industry is increasing. That is increasing with the amount of people living in the city, also with their education. If they have proper education, and then more people join in this. Before I can expand though, what I can see right now is that we have another electricity problem. We are now pretty much at the capacity limit of what we can have. And the problem here is also that I've already used the maximum budget for the electricity. So we do need to build another one now. Boomtown, it is the next upgrade. Very good. Reached population of 2,200. We can purchase a new area. We can also get the airport now if we want to. I mean, an airport in a city with 2,200 people. I haven't seen this yet. Might be possible somewhere in the world. We definitely can't afford that. We also get some basic transportation now, or industry specialization, recycling, waste storage that we have, some more highway roads, and very important, highway roads. Very important for our roundabout. And of course, a bit of cash. We have 41,000 now. We actually got, I think, 35,000 out of this boost there. And we will use this one right away on another coal power plant. Yes, I know, dirty it is, but it's absolutely required here for now. Let's squeeze it in here at the very end of it. 23,000 it costs me. There you go. Destroying a bit. Actually, there is a bit of room. Let's keep this room available there as a buffer. There you go, and that's it. We can also see the pollution that we're causing already on the river. There's some slight pollution appearing now. It's only going to increase, of course, the more people live here. Oh, and this also starts to go down now. Water and sewage treatment. But for now, it's fine. Do we have the recycling plant already? We do have it. The Eco Inland Water Treatment Plant. Very expensive, though. Nothing we could afford anytime soon. Especially when it comes to maintenance costs. The community school is actually almost full. There it is. It is full. There's some people playing around, some children. And yes, each one of them, and that is so cool, actually has a name, a home, right, an age. And they're now learning here and then working in my city too. And ultimately dying. What should I say? Fortunately, we all have to at some point. Now, my coal power plants, they're now working perfectly fine. We have doubled our electricity, and with that, another 50 megawatt available. Industry is skyrocketing right now, so what could we do about this? I'm certainly not going to have another ugly, dirty, polluting industry next to my city. This is only temporary, so we are going to remove it at some point. For now, though, I need to think about something, and we do have fertile area over here, fertile land, and this is something I could use. Let's go ahead and have our first farm district right now. Let's continue with the dirt road all the way to this side. This is a main road then later. For now, it's going to be a basic dirt road. Yeah, that's it. Oh, there's also some elevation again. So before I actually go and start building here, we might actually just flatten the whole plane that we have over there. Make the brush side rather big, because this should all look then proper and come together. There it is, flattening it. Oh, that's actually also lagging a bit right now because there's so much flattening that we're doing there. There you go. Let's make it a bit smaller. Have the edges there. And we can actually also see the lines moving here. But it's going to be very, very good later on because it's just looking like a proper farm area then. And as we can see, no more hills, no more steep declines here that we have. It's just a flat terrain. Very good. And here we can now start a farming industry. Later on, we can then add another highway entrance here, so especially once we start building some proper city here. By the way, we could purchase another tile. Is that right? I could actually do it here already and then have the highway, or getting closer to the highway then at some point. Anyway, this might be possible for now. I'm not expecting to go into the mountains so far. This is a bit further away. Yeah, so that's the logical next choice. Anyway, 5,600 credits it costs us. It's a bit of coin that we have, and with that, we can actually get over here, and this is my intention. Let's just see. We have another elevation, of course, that I need to rectify. I'm just going ahead here and flattening this whole terrain there too. There's actually a hill. I don't want to get rid of the hill though. Right, so we're just going to make sure that we push the hill away a bit, just a tiny bit, in order to flatten this one. As we can see, we're pushing the hill really away. That is just cool looking. Not too much though, definitely not too much. Just a bit on the edges here. There you go. Perfect. And with that, let's add another road now. This is a major road, so there is another major crossing then coming here at some point. Most likely a roundabout, right? So we have then the highway coming in, roundabout, main road, roundabout, highway again. Something like this I have in mind for this whole traffic system. Now here, this is another highway, another main road then as well. So we need to make sure that we keep a bit of distance there in general. So over here, it is possible then to add my little farming area for now. For that, let's start with a district. So once again, we are going to have just along the road here, right? Let's just see how big we can actually make it then. Let's make it this whole area for now. Going all the way to the highway. Perfect. The Briar Rose district. And we're going to add the farming industry to this one. So this is a farming industry tile now. There you go. It will get its own special policies and its own special buildings. But for now, well, we do need to add our first building then for the farming industry. I've just realized I've used the wrong painting tool, of course, because there's two. There's the district painting and the industry painting. Of course, we need the industry painting, so I'm going to use this one now. The cool thing is also what we can see right now is right away the fertility. So we have the further land in this area, right? So we really should make use of it. We do have some ore. We have no oil, unfortunately, but ore is possible. Over here in the mountains, that's actually pretty good, right? It's a nice connection then later on for this industry. And forest we have plenty of, especially over there on this side. So this might be a nice forest industry coming up. It's also close to the rail network, so just perfect for transportation, exporting and importing all of my goods. But for now, let's just start small. So there we have it now, the industry district or the industry sector. And with that, I'm able now to finally build then my farm main building. A bit of coin I still need, so let's just wait it out. While I wait it out, we could actually continue adding a few more residents. So over here, for example, in this corner, we still have a few more. Perfect. After all, demand is pretty high right now for any kind of residents. They should live here because we want to grow this whole tile. And there we also have a few more. Let's actually leave some room there for another road exit then. And here, I'm probably not doing it for now because I think this will cause some elevation problems there once more. Yep, we need to make sure that we solve this problem first. So let's get rid of that. Flatten this whole terrain there a bit. Otherwise, we're getting some very ugly scars into this city here that we cannot get rid of afterwards, other than deleting these buildings, of course. That's looking a bit better now. And now we can add some more buildings then here. There you go. Also, I was also mentioning the highway here. We can now do this in the roundabout that I would like to do. There you go. So this whole inner area is now a one-way roundabout, more or less. It's much faster for these vehicles then as well. We might actually need to... Wait a second. I think there I did a mistake now. That's the correct one. Right, so this is the one. 2 lanes, 1 way only. There you go. We can actually... Can we do this now? We cannot do this yet with a sound barrier. Always very good to have then next to that. It also deletes the commercial buildings next to it that we already had, right? So these tiles are basically gone. For now though, it's fine at this one. There we can still add another tiny one. There you go. Some businesses at least. And perhaps here another 2 businesses that would have space. And then we could have some more industry there again. Looking much better. And yes, we do have the money now, 30,000 on the bank. Let's go ahead and start the farm industry just over here in this district, in the valley region as it's called. That's actually a pretty nice name for it. And I think we might have it just here in the center, right? There you go. And with that, we have unlocked our very first industry, the farming industry. We got the first few basic buildings available now as well. A nice looking building here, which is kind of like marking the entrance for it. The Valley Agricultural Area. Level 1 it is, so we need to start producing something now if we want to make money and if we want to level up. Also, workers until the next level 25. Now, what is still missing here is a bit of water. We can add this one, though it's of course expensive, but we do need to have these pipes here anyway for the future. Right, so that's 2,000, 4,000, going all the way over there, some 6,000 credits for the pipes. And then for the electricity there as well, these power lines, they should be a bit cheaper though. Have a look, 700 it is. And yeah, actually not that much cheaper, 3,700. Just so that we have this connection over there for now. It is growing together anyway at some point, right? So that's fine. There you go, a bit of power. On top of the farming district, I'm also adding a normal district with an agricultural specialization. That basically means that if I want to add now some industry here, it will be farming industry, right? So we are kind of like mixing it up. The buildings that we can now build, the specialized buildings, like for example, the small crop field for 5,000. We can do this, of course. But not only that, we can also add some industry area that is going to be farming as well. And that's exactly what I'm trying to do here. We don't have any better paths available. There's the country roads that I would like to have. There's a grass rural road. This is actually pretty good for a bit of this area here, right, where we have now some of these coming up. So I would probably like to start here with our first one. And as we can see, it's a bit of a different texture there. A very small one, very subtle there. And this is for fields, of course, and stuff like that. Let's have a nice proper curve, 90 degrees. Going all the way up here then. And then probably another one. With this one, 90 degrees. There you go. Going all the way back home again. A nice little block. And in this block, we can now start with our first agricultural buildings. That would be, for example, some crop field here. 5,000 is actually quite expensive for this single one here, but it's a start. It's starting to produce us something, and we can then also add some more industry here, right? So this is then just working, not the highest density perhaps. Just going to be some fields, some barns, perhaps some smaller food processing industry. Who knows? And they're actually starting to appear already. That's really fast. I will need to add some infrastructure to that in the form of pipes. Let's just have the pipe going all around it. There you go. And power should already be connected. There you go. Yes, the grid is expanding. And as we can see, there is now my first industrial buildings. And yes, it's fields as well. So we got a few fields coming up here, some barns, some farmland in general. Just like that, it can now grow. Very lovely. And we should also be seeing now the first things being produced. There it is, 7 out of 500. No exports yet. No money that we make out of it. It does cost me a bit of coin, but it's going to pay off long-term wise. I'm sure of that. I'm just very sure of that. Stay tuned.